Let's get to tariffs because every time we talk, there seems to be something, a new iteration here. Australia didn't get that exemption. No other country got an exemption. And look, our Trade Minister is still speaking with his counterpart in Washington, Jim, but he's made the really good point this morning that with no exemptions, it means that the playing field is still level with all of our competitors. We only sell 0.2% of our total trade, aluminium and steel, into the United States. And essentially, all it's doing is making aluminium and steel more expensive for the American public right now. So how long can this last?
Well, that's a very good question. And, if you're looking at financial markets in the United States this week, 4 days, 3 bloodbaths. And, the economy is teetering on recession right now. Consumer confidence is plummeting in the United States. And really the number one reason why people elected Donald Trump is they wanted a better economy. So Donald Trump is promising people that there's going to be pain now and pleasure later. And I'm not sure people are buying it. And the tariff wars seem to be backfiring for now for him.
Yeah, they are for now. We also spoke to a former Home Affairs Secretary, Mike Pizzullo, on this program last hour, who makes the point that, okay, if we take a step back here and take a bigger picture approach, there's a lot of pain and consternation and panic really at the moment about tariffs and where the tariff and trade war is going. But he believes that it is a good thing essentially to see America reindustrialise if that is the outcome of all of this. Do you agree with that?
I do think reindustrialization would be good for the United States. And actually, under Joe Biden, they spent a lot of money to try and start to do that. And look, this is not to say that Donald Trump is completely wrong on all tariffs here. But I do think there's a miscalculation going on, because besides doing the tariffs, Trump is insulting other countries and threatening to make Canada a 51st state. So instead of countries wanting to make a deal with him, the prime ministers are becoming more popular opposing him. So the tariffs work if other countries succumb. And I'm not sure they're going to, because Trump is also insulting them, and these countries are holding fast. So I think for now, this is not working well for Donald Trump. We'll see how it does in the future.
Well, when you say that, do you mean other countries in Europe, like Australia, retreat, become more isolationist, and it just kind of breaks the trust, I guess?
Well, let's just take Canada, for example. The United States has massive trade with Canada that has been beneficial for both countries. Well, yes, some of that trade advantages Canada a little bit more than the United States, but we basically have a free trade agreement with them. I think we would get a better deal out of Canada if he also didn't call the prime minister there governor and say we're going to be the 51st state. So Canada is now holding fast and does not want to deal with the United States. And I think Europe is feeling the same way. They're saying, if we stand up to Trump, I, a politician, a prime minister, become more popular in my country. So I'll take the pain of these tariffs and stand up to Trump. And I don't think Trump anticipated that.
Well, how much, I get the short-term strongman approach to all of this and how that goes down in the electorate. But if this starts to be a cost of living issue, which it will rapidly, that local parochial political benefit will diminish pretty quickly, won't it?
It will. But it's also happening in the United States too. So,
it's a big game of chicken then, Jim.
It's a big game of chicken where the stakes really aren't that high, because, Trump has backed down on the tariffs with Mexico and Canada at first with sort of very little that they had to give in the past. So I'm not sure what the end game is here. America has benefited from globalization, as much as any country. Look, the economy, people feel the economy is bad now in the United States and getting worse. And they elected him because they thought the economy would get much better.
Jim Kessler, always a pleasure to talk to you, especially on Friday. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.